Now, most of us are familiar with the Tay Bridge and the disaster that befell it, but it's perhaps less well known that the man who designed the Tay Bridge, a Cumbrian born near Carlisle called Sir Thomas Bouch, also designed many other bridges, many of a similar design that were much more robust, one of which used to be found near the town of Kirkby Stephen in the southeast corner of the Eden Valley. Now, Sir Thomas Bouch got the gig for building the Belah Viaduct because he was renowned for building viaducts rapidly and cheaply. Now, rapid and cheap are probably two characteristics of a viaduct that are not likely to instill much confidence in anybody that's traversing them. And he was known to fly close to the wind when it came to the structural elements and integrity of the viaducts that he designed, and it's probably this characteristic of Bouch's design and building that led to the failure of the Tay Bridge, which collapsed less than 2 years after it opened. The viaduct stood at around 1,000 feet above sea level, which is about 300 feet higher than where the train started off at Kirkby Stephen, a few miles down the line, and this required that the carriages were pulled by two engines at the front, at least initially. This had to be changed to one at the front and one at the back to give a more even weight distribution as the viaduct aged and possibly concerns over its structural integrity started to emerge. Nothing much remains of the viaduct these days except the stone abutments at each end and a small brick hut that was probably for signalment or something like that. So here we've accessed the viaduct by walking down from the road above Barras, the road that leads to Tan Hill, and you walk through open access land all the way down until you come to a road, and then you can pick up a footpath that leads all the way to the abutment on the eastern side of the viaduct. The demise of the Tay Bridge so moved the poet William McGonagall that he created this affront to all things poetic in response. Belah Viaduct has also moved more than one poet to pick up pen and commit verse to paper, with equally disastrous results, which all goes to suggest that perhaps viaducts do not make very good topics for poets. So what of our heroic Cumbrian viaduct builder? Well, he died a broken man not long after the conclusion of the Tay Bridge disaster inquiry, which levelled blame at him and also at the construction firm Gilks Wilson. But perhaps some vindication can be found in the fact that most of Sir Thomas Bouch's bridges stood the test of time and ultimately fell foul to the short-sightedness of British transport policy as opposed to any disaster associated with their design. If you want to see this remnant of Britain's industrial past, it's easy to access via several different routes. If you just get yourself somewhere around Barras, you will find a way to the viaduct and you can have a look for yourselves.